What's up, guys? It's Mike back here again with another video. Sorry for not uploading recently. I just had a lot going on, but just wanted to touch base with you guys with this first aid kit that I keep in my truck. I bought it as a Milwaukee packout first aid kit, and I liked that there was some stuff in it, but I thought there was room for improvement, and so I added a few things. I'm just gonna go through them with you guys and show you what I decided to put in here. So there was some band-aids that it came with. I have the video on my channel of the things that it came with, right? And not that it was bad, it just wasn't quite up to my standards. So I threw a couple of these bigger bandages in here. You can see they're pretty decently sized. I mean, compared to my hand, I wear 2XL gloves and it covers my whole hand. So that's a pretty decent sized bandage. In here, I threw some bleed stop for any bigger cuts that you might have. Anything too dangerous. Got some gauze pads. Another thing that I added in here, 2" by 2" gauze pads. Stack of bandages, just regular old band-aids. And here I got 3" by 3" gauze, so a little bit bigger, a couple sheets of them. Down here, a couple more big band-aids that are a little more aggressive with a little better adhesion. Some finger band-aids. These, I guess I'll open it just because most people aren't going to know what I'm talking about. So these are band-aids, but they are a special kind of band-aid. So instead of just being like that big, regular old band-aid, they are a lot longer, and they're like that, so this whole part is all sticky, so that way whenever you wrap your hand and you come back around again, you have a lot more room to put a whole lot more tension on there and get this nice and tight. And they're super strong band-aids, and they last a lot more. And I work in the automotive industry, and these type of band-aids hold a lot longer, they last longer, they deal with getting wet better, they don't peel off as easy, and I just think it's good to have a couple of these for more serious cuts. You know, the smaller cuts, okay, we'll put whatever band-aids in there, but I like to have a couple of these guys just for my own peace of mind, just something I'm familiar with. This is like a triangle bandage, so you can splint your arm or whatever. Here's two more of those other band-aids I just showed you. Dump this thing out. These are eye pads for if you get a wound on your eye. It's just a cotton round for you to be able to put this over the wound or the injury, and then put some gauze wrap around that. These pins are for the triangle bandage, to hold them in place and pin them up. Here are some butterfly strips, pretty decent sized ones. This is liquid skin. Believe it or not, this came from the Dollar Tree, and I was thoroughly impressed with the fact that it just comes with one just like this in its own package, and they are sealed. You can kind of see the seals on them. Right up here you can see that it's individually wrapped. This is the same glue that they use in the emergency room, so if you have a cut that you just want to glue together, and you know you're able to get good access to it and just pinch the wound and put a little bit of this glue over it, you know, this stuff works really, really, really well, and it dries pretty quick, and sometimes it's all you need. And if you're in the field or stuck or got into a car accident or whatever the case may be, you know, it's nice to have. So let me just kind of try and see if I can put some of this away. That way I'm not making a huge mess here as we go along. Now there is a little bit more room in this pouch, but I did kind of pack this pretty full. I didn't want the waterproof seal on the box to be bulging. That was the goal, so that way the waterproof seal actually works. So I had to kind of be careful. When I talk about the waterproof seal, I'm talking about this gasket here on the box. It goes all the way around the whole thing and makes it so that this stays waterproof. Now the next bin will go right here. Let me move this back a little bit. We got some nitrile gloves. These came with the kit, but you know, if you're not familiar with the person or there's blood or anything, you want to be able to protect yourself. So got those in there. I added this pair of tweezers, some metal tweezers that are actually good quality. I prefer this type of medical tape, not the paper tape. This tape is waterproof and it's just better quality. Very sticky, very durable, good medical tape. Always got to have some of that. These scissors came with the kit. Believe it or not, they do actually work pretty well for cutting tape and gauze and stuff, so I kept them in there. This came with the kit. Originally, it's eye wash, so there are 2 of these. I wish that they would have given a couple more, but 2 is what we got, so 2 is what we're working with. Here I put this in. This is Kylan hemostatic gauze, and it's gauze that's impregnated with bleed stop. Basically it has instructions on the back. It's individually vacuum sealed package. This is just a little medical bandage, medical tape. I put some eye drops in here. They're just good to have. And this, we have a burn shield, emergency burn dressing, which this is pretty good quality, but there's only one, so you gotta make sure you use it at the right time. Throw this stuff in here. Onto the middle pockets. So I have a tourniquet. It's already pre-staged, so all you would do is slide it on, unvelcro this, pull it tight, a couple twists with the windlass, clip it in, and then there you go, you're good to go. So I know it looked a little goofy when it was in there just because of the way that the velcro sticks, but if you really want to stage it, you bring this down like that. Now it's nice and ready to go. If you got to get it up, just rip it off, put your arm through or put your leg through, unvelcro this, pull tight, wind it up just like I said before. Inside here I have a skin stapler. It's brand new and I've never used it before, this specific one, but there's 35 staples in there, so it is pretty serious wounds that would require something like this, but I'd rather have it and never use it than a day come that I need it and I wasn't ready and didn't have it. Some moleskin. I just cut a piece off of a big sheet, that's why it's all crooked here, but this is just sticky. Cut the size that you need, peel it off, put it on, stop blisters from happening. Down here I got some prepackaged gauze. This is sterile 4-inch gauze. I have a couple of those in here. This is kind of the same thing. So got a decent amount of those. Down here we have bigger pads, individual absorbent pads, gauze sponges, pretty decent size. I added those guys in there too. We got quite a few of them. We got some triple antibiotic ointment and a couple of Ace bandages. Give me a second to package this stuff up a little. Down underneath here, this is a waterproof dressing, so you put your band-aid and stuff on or whatever you're trying to cover. This flips over top of the wound. You peel this up and it's like a Tegaderm outer layer to make the wound waterproof and to make it so that nothing else will get inside there and get through this seal. This is not something that you commonly have to use, so I just put one in here and I will replace it as needed. It just sits down inside there. In between this pouch, in between those plastic containers, I put some antiseptic towelettes just to have a couple. Can't really hurt anything. It's always good to keep wounds clean as you can. Now inside here I have, this is daytime cold and flu medicine. There's 2 per person, and well, 2 is a dose, so they're individual. They're already marked, which is nice. Got some liquid IV that I threw in here. You know, hydration and dehydration is a big thing. So I have firecracker and watermelon flavored. Threw them in there just to have these. This is combine pad. This is pretty big, pretty thick. There's 2 of those in there. This is an instant cold pad, just an ice pack. You just pop it and it instantly becomes cold. This came with it. This is, I think this is like a CPR mask. Let me see. Yeah, CPR shield. Came with it as well. Now this is the cotton, the gauze that they gave you in the kit. Like, for real, what am I going to do with this, dude? This is nowhere near enough. So that's why I put all that extra in there. But there is still room in this kit after this stuff. Like I said, I can fit a couple more things. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Inside this bag here, I have some medicine. This is ibuprofen in the individual pack. This is Decoro Forte. This is like a pain and fever reducer. Diamode. This is for anti-diarrhea meds. I got some Motrin, some sinus decongestant, another ibuprofen pack, antacids, Advil, Excedrin, another antacid pack, another Advil pack, another sinus pack, Aleve, and a pain and fever reducer. It's just a nice little bag of over-the-counter meds. You never know when you need them, but when you need them, boy, you need them. You know, you're already dealing with a bad situation or an emergency or a trauma, and it might not be that big of a deal, but having a headache or having something wrong in an emergency situation or a toothache or anything like that, it's very debilitating. And, you know, for the couple bucks that it cost me to put this little bag together, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't. This is anti-itch cream, Motrin. These are alcohol pads. I got a bunch of those in there. I also have these Purell packets. You can see from the diagram, you just squeeze this, and there's a seal right here, and you squeeze it right into your hand. It's a single dose. Now, this brand is the Booty brand. Their Booty Wipes is what this is called, but I don't think I need to explain what that's for. Banana boat, some sunscreen. You never know whenever you need to have that. Now that summertime is here, off deep wood insect repellent towelettes. Got some wet ones. Iodine prep pads. Burn cream. Got a bunch of them. Alcohol pads, like I said. These are hydrocortisone, anti-itch cream, basically. Triple antibiotic ointment. Imodium, anti-diarrhea. Some more Purell, some more prep pads. Antibiotic ointments. That's just a whole bunch of them. Another one. More ointments. This is hand sanitizer. Burn cream, burn cream. Antiseptic towelettes. Burn cream, hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer. I think these ones are all hand sanitizers. Yeah. More. And just a couple more towelettes. And that wraps it up, guys. So this is my upgraded version of the Milwaukee packout first aid kit. I'm sure there's stuff that I'm missing. I'm sure you guys can comment and give me some ideas. There's some other things that I can add into here. But I think for a kit that sits in my truck and is just there for when I need it, for whatever emergency may happen, I think I'm doing pretty good. And I think that this will do most things that I need it to do. But anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this channel. It's slow and it's a hard process, but hopefully it'll be worth it in the end. And hopefully this helps somebody out there, make a better kit for themselves and stay more prepared. I appreciate you guys, as always. And I'll see you on the next one.